Oh, hey everybody, how's it going? It is happy hour. This is Off Road Mixology. I am Eva Rupert. I'm the motorcycle community ambassador and resident mixologist for Overland Expo, and I am so glad you guys are here. I hope you all have had an amazing day. I know there's been so many great videos and stories and action on all of the different social media platforms, so I hope you guys have been tuning into that and that you've had an awesome day. I know some of you guys have been tuning in on Friday afternoons on our Instagram, which has been amazing. Thank you so much. And as you know, Off Road Mixology is the only virtual cocktail class to have 408 horsepower and 6 wheels behind it. So just a disclaimer for any of you who've never been to one of my cocktail classes before or tuned in on our Instagram lives before, Off-road mixology is just that. You are off the road. The keys are out of the ignition, the kickstand is down, and you are done driving or riding for the day. This is not a pre-ride activity in any way, shape, or form because we are going to be making cocktails. We are going to be doing 2 variations of a Manhattan today. It's one of those drinks where you can tweak it at the campsite. So if somebody likes it sweeter, if somebody likes it drier, you can make it just perfect for them. And a Manhattan is a super classic cocktail. I'm going to be using rye with them. This is Old Overholt. It's not the most expensive. It's not the best. But for the price point, like 20 bucks, it is darn delicious, super drinkable. And we're going to be mixing it with vermouth. So we're going to be doing 2 different Manhattans today. The first one is just a really classic traditional Manhattan. It's going to have the rye in it. It's going to have sweet vermouth. And then we're going to be using some of these really awesome brandied cherries. Typically I get Luxardo cherries because they're delicious and they're really caramelly. But I ordered these Gritons and they're awesome. And you know, you got to mix it up, and it's always fun to experiment. And so that's the cornerstone of all things mixology, is play with it. You guys can all mess around at home with some really basic ingredients that work just as well in your kitchen as they do at your campsite. So if you're traveling on your motorbike, I like to pack my booze into some little canteens. These ones are awesome. They're super cute, and so you can put whatever you want, plan ahead for your cocktails for the evening, fill up your little flasks, and just bring an evening or 2 evenings worth of booze with you. You can even pre-mix cocktails and load these ahead of time and then just pour them over ice or drink them neat at the campsite. Our classic Manhattan is just going to have rye and sweet vermouth, and I'm going to be serving it up in a chilled coupe. So the first thing we're going to do, I love these little glasses, by the way. I don't know why I love them so much. So I am going to put some ice in my glass while we're mixing our cocktail. This is just going to hang out, and the water plus the ice is going to chill the glass. And considering that this cocktail is served up, not on the rocks, you want your glassware to be really cold. I also really like having stemware for something like that. That way you're not like clutching the glass and warming up your cocktail too quickly. Although for some of you guys it might not matter because you just drink them so fast. Anyhow, I might be guilty of that myself. So first things first, you need your shaker tin, but you can just use any sort of camp cup for this. So we're going to do 2 ounces of rye, and we're going to do 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Pretty basic. 3 ounces is a pretty standard cocktail size. And I'm going to throw the bitters right in my shaker tin. I love Angostura bitters. There's so many different bitters out there. This is just super versatile. It has such a variety of aromatics that it's just one of the most universal bitters that you can find. They make them in teeny tiny jars, or you can even parse these down into smaller containers as well to make them easy to travel with. All right, now we're going to throw some cubes in here. When you shake something, you're watering it down more quickly. You're agitating the ice, you're foaming the cocktail. So typically you save that for drinks that are going to be served in a highball glass where you're combining juice or adding egg whites or anything like that. When you're doing really simple, neat cocktails, typically you're going to stir it. You want the alcohol to chill without diluting it too terribly much. This is my stirring face. That's how you can tell I'm very serious about my drinks. All right, so the cocktail is super chilled. You can see how cold it is down here compared to the top of the glass. And this is a perfect time. Ooh, my coupe is frosty cold. Take your strainer and pour it right in. It's a beautiful color. The spirit has become far more viscous. And that right there, folks, is lovely. So this one we're going to garnish with one of these awesome cherries. Not going to try and get too much syrup in it. Sweet vermouth is exactly that. It is sweet. So you don't want to get too much of the cherry juice. And let me just say that if for some reason you're trying to put one of those like hot pink maraschino cherries in here, skip it. There's only one place that those things belong, and it's on the napkin next to your ice cream sundae. So this right here, my friends, is a beautiful cocktail. Let's give it a taste. Oh my God, it's top notch. It's so good. It's so cold. I just love that rye. It's like, for the price, you just can't beat it. I already consider the Manhattan to be a near perfect cocktail, but the word perfect means more than just an exquisite drink. Of course, it's perfect. It's delicious. It's got rye, it's got vermouth, but perfect in mixology terms refers to an equal part of sweet vermouth and dry vermouth. So, version 2, we're going to be doing a perfect Manhattan, and especially for a hot summer day, this is an incredible drink. Unlike the classic Manhattan, which I like to do up in a coupe, the perfect Manhattan I like to do in an old-fashioned glass on the rocks. So, let's make it happen. I always like to measure my booze. I use one of these because it's just handy. You can use any kind of jigger, but this one just has 2-ounce marks, 1-ounce marks, and half-ounce marks. Super simple, super easy to use. You just throw it in your camp kitchen and you have it all the time, and it's good for cooking too, so it's really versatile. Again, have I mentioned that I love Old Overholt? There's a story behind this too. The guy was originally from eastern Pennsylvania, traveled by covered wagon for like, I don't know, I want to say like 6 months, and only got to the other side of Pennsylvania. Talk about the true overlanding spirit. So we've got 2 ounces of rye in here, and now we're going to split our vermouth. So I am going to do a 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth. 9 times out of 10, I like a perfect Manhattan. It's a little drier, it's a little less syrupy, and especially on a hot day in Arizona like this, this is just a great cocktail to have. All right, so we've got 2 ounces of rye, a 1/2 ounce of dry, and a 1/2 ounce of sweet in there. And I'm going to hit this one with a hearty dose of Angostura bitters. So same deal, we are going to put a bunch of cubes in here, and we are going to stir it cold. You guys, that is perfect right there. Look at all that boozy goodness in there. Can you see that? So I've got my old-fashioned glass, and for this one, I'm going to use 1 big fat cube. I just keep those silicone big cube makers in my freezer at all times, because you just never know. You just never know when you're going to want a big cube in your cocktail. You can do this with regular ice cubes too. Just be aware of the fact that the more cubes that are in there, the more watered down it's going to get over time. So if you're a slow sipper, go with a big cube. That's the best way to do it. We are going to strain this right into here. That is a thing of beauty, my friends. And then the garnish for this one is going to be a lemon. So I'm going to get a big fat peel of lemon. I'm going to get the oils from the lemon around the rim of the glass. I'm going to express it over the top just to get a little bit of those aromatics. I'm going to drop it in there because it looks beautiful. And this being my favorite cocktail of the moment. That is perfect in so many ways. I love it. So, hey, everybody, thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy yourself an amazing cocktail. Remember, no drinking and driving. That's a terrible idea. And we will see you at Overland Expo West. And then after that, we've got Mountain West and we've got East. So we will see you guys all soon. I'll be teaching classes like this or my gas station gourmet class. You can find me on Instagram at AugustEva, or you can find me on Overland Expo a couple times a week, making delicious drinks and really fun food from gas station ingredients. And gosh, thank you all so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy your evening, and cheers.